I was just in Long's buying something, and you know, when you buy something now, they have that little screen that comes up and gives you all these options you have to void out of or opt out of. And they're always doing some kind of what do you call this, fund drives or something, or charity for something. And I mean, if I knew they weren't all fucking scams, I'd probably give more to charity. I do when they do local stuff here. Ross will do some stuff sometimes, or it goes to the local stuff here, whether it's like something for the kids or some school thing. I always give to those. But this thing came up, and it's talking about heart disease being the leading cause of death, one of the leading causes of death. It always was, right? But now it's like it's all ages, and it's like 5 times as worse. And no one really seems to care about why, or they look at why. They have that new Heart Safe Schools program where they teach kids to defibrillate their fellow students when they have the inevitable heart seizure. The deaths of kids that are dying from heart-related diseases has fucking skyrocketed. In a different time, this would have been alarming to people. Like, I mean, it's still alarming to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people too, but there's so much crazy shit going on in the world that it's just like, oh yeah, kids have heart attacks now. It's like, well, they shouldn't be having fucking heart attacks. Like, if this was the 1980s, even the 90s, people would be all over trying to figure out what the hell is going on. They wouldn't just say, well, that's just how it is now, and we have to install these heart-safe programs. We got to teach all the kids how to revive their fucking classmates when they inevitably keel over. No, there'd be people trying to get to the bottom of what's going on, and parents would be outraged. They're not these days because, one, all this crazy stuff's going on at the same time, and I think a lot of them know what the problem is, even the parents, but they just don't want to say it, not even to themselves, certainly not in a public way, because then all of a sudden, people will think I'm a tinfoil hat wearing crazy person. So, I guess we'll just have to sacrifice our kids to Moloch. It's, what it is. Parents have been handing over their children for sacrificial purposes since the beginning of time. I don't know what that is. I'm not a parent myself. God has never blessed me with having a child. It is what it is. There was other plans for me. But I guess there's that instinct there to somewhere buried in a lot of parents to just hand that fucking thing over, because they certainly turn a blind eye to what's going on, and instead of protecting their children, they don't want to take the social hit on Twitter or X or whatever it's called. They don't want their other friends on Facebook to think they're a Trump supporter, right? So they have to toe the line. It must be something else. We don't know what it is. It's not even, they haven't even come up with a good, reason for why it's happening. They're just like, oh, this is how it is now. It's like, no, that's fucking not how it is now. It's never been that way. You're not concerned? Yeah, I don't know. It's just bizarre to me. It blows my mind that there's not just as much noise about why this is happening, and instead it's all going toward helping these school programs to identify a heart attack early in 3rd graders. It's fucking bizarre. Or having just one sports ball guy, even if it's soccer. I know we don't, here in America we don't care as much about that. Okay, we'll put it this way. Imagine 20 soccer players worth one NFL guy. Imagine if one NFL guy dropped dead on the field. The kind of fucking chatter that would that would cause people would be freaking out if this were the, a different time. But no, people just go out, and the sports ball is just, I guess it's just one of the hazards of playing sports, is that you could drop dead at any time from overexerting yourself. It's just accepted. It's fucked. Now, it's accepted in the larger social consciousness, even if privately, in their quietest moments, laying in bed at night, they know. Of course they know. But, balllessness is what it is, balllessness. They're afraid of how they'll be perceived instead of just saying what's fucking really going on, instead of talking the truth, Whatever. That's the world we live in. And a lot of these people aren't real anyway, so it's not, there's always that. The other day when I was talking about the God powers thing, the idea that with the spiritual awakening, people's spiritual consciousness rising, them understanding that there is a spiritual realm and a struggle going on, that some people have found that they have what would be considered abilities, like they can read people better, maybe understand things faster, or in the case of myself and funny man Charles Carroll, super reflexes. But these things are happening with people all over, and it's referred to, a lot of people refer to it as God power. So the thing is, I didn't get to the part I wanted to get to there, because as I often do, I start on track A and I don't arrive at station A. I end up on B or maybe even C, and I arrive at station D. So I want to just hit that again, because a point I wanted to bring up is that if you've ever been in the mental health field or the mental health industry, as it is an industry, it's for profit, you will get these periodic things you have to do. Tests and things, like they do IQ tests, they do, different annual things that they do. And one of them, which I would get, I don't know, the first couple of years I'd get it once every quarter, then it was just a couple times a year. You'd get this how you doing paperwork, basically, because they can't do anything in that field as far as diagnosis or treatment, unless they get feedback from the patient. The only way they can determine anything is from observation and feedback from the patient. There's absolutely nothing else. So they have to rely on you to report how you're doing, so then they can, look at your report and go, and look at Wikipedia or some little book they have and try to cross-reference stuff and figure out what the next move is with your treatment. But at the bottom of these questionnaires, where they're usually like one page or maybe, 2 pages, 2 full pages, but it's at least one page with 2 sides on it. And one of the last questions that you always get is, do you think you have superpowers? Now I used to look at this and be like, what? Like, is that a common thing among mentally ill people, that superpowers? It could be, but is it that common? It's on every one of these fucking questionnaires. So I always kind of look at it and just, whatever. No, I don't feel I have superpowers. I'm looking at it now. It's turned fucking Jamaican. I'm looking at it now, man. John Big Booty. A red electroid. Looking at it now, it's like those motherfuckers knew. They knew, because what it is the mental health field, in my opinion, is just gatekeeping. It keeps you locked in to this frequency. It keeps you on the script of the world as it's presented to you. They keep you on script, and if you go off script, they make sure they put you on scripts, usually a bunch of them. So with that, the people, maybe not the clinicians themselves, but the people at the higher levels of this whole situation, they know what the situation is as far as what we really are. And so I think they feel like, all right, well, this is a telltale sort of sign. If they think they're getting these abilities or powers or feel like they have them, it could mean that they're transcending their suit, you know. Hold on, let me just get this here, get to shake some people off. If you ever see me lose my train of thought or just like the wheels spin, it's because I get a lot of people around me, and a lot of times they're all quiet. I say that about the people out here too. They're fucking very quiet. No one talks to each other. I'll be at like a stoplight waiting to cross the street, and I have a bunch of people around me. It's just dead silence. So I have to, you know, kind of shut my mouth too. But the it's like whoever in that chain of command knows that what we are, you know, because if someone was like, yeah, I feel like I understand people better, I see things around them, or, you know, I'm able to, whatever fucking thing they think they have that is a superpower. And these are not superpowers. These are not extra abilities. These are things that we just do normally as energy beings. We just do all this stuff. They're not super to us. They're super in relation to this fucking place, into this hard material 3D realm, or what appears to be material. It's actually not. It's very dense energy. But yeah, you get the point though. So comparative to this place, it seems super. I mean, we're not used to being able to do these things, and plus, you know, we're set up in a way in these bodies where they have, like the other day I was mentioning how they have governors on everything, you know, whereas you know, like a governor on a truck to keep you from going a certain speed. We have those on our body for a lot of different things that stop us from being able to do things that we normally do. I would sometimes have this thing, and I talked about it before, where you know, right before you sneeze or right before you yawn, you get this feeling, like this urge, like, you know, you're about to yawn, and then once you start yawning or sneezing, you reach that point of no return where you have to yawn or sneeze. I've had this weird thing where something starts inside me, and I feel like I'm about to do something, and then it doesn't happen. You know, whatever it is that I was supposed to do doesn't go on, but I get that feeling that year, but then it doesn't. You know, it's almost like there was something there that I'm used to doing that I couldn't do because of being prevented from it in some way. Yeah, I don't know. I think that has maybe something to do with that. At any rate, these things that you can do, they're not super, they're not abilities, they're just what you can normally do. Like I was saying, these arms and legs, these appendages we have are here in place of what we just normally are, which is basically a ball of light. And if we want to go over to across the street, we don't need legs, we just appear there. Or if you want to take something out of a tree, like a piece of fruit or something, you don't have to reach with your hand and pick it. It just appears in your hand, you know, like it's that kind of thing. It's instantaneous, it's with thought. You don't have to, in my opinion, from what I understand, that's kind of how we operate as energy beings. So if you think you have some kind of superpower, that would tip them off to, well, I mean, on a clinician level, it probably means some other bullshit, like, oh, that's ideolation, that's, you know, or something. But their bosses know, oh, we got a live one here. This guy needs Thorazine, this guy needs that, because they're trying to keep you in your fucking suit and resonating with the frequency of this place. That's how the mental health field is keeping you in fucking check, you know? And they got all their bases covered. You know, they hedge their bets. They got every fucking base covered. Even at like a micro level like that, because they can't afford to have you figure it out. Because if you figure it out, they're fucked. It's just one of us, you know? I mean, a lot of us has figured it out, but I mean, figure it out on that level, you know? And that's what they were thinking. But the thing I think they got wrong is that it wasn't going to happen with one person. It ended up being what's happening now, where there's a lot of us that are slowly coming into the understanding. And they aren't going to be fighting or trying to control one person who found they can, move without having to use legs, or just move without thought or something, or move with thought. It's going to be a lot of us all at once, and happening a lot slower. They can't stop what's going to happen. They can't stop what's coming. They've lost, and they know they've lost. Well, the main guys know they've lost. If it's other fucking minions that you gotta worry about, because those people still think they have a chance, and they're the ones that are gonna make your life fucking shitty. But indoor, we'll be fine. We just dodge them. Dodge the van. Just dodge the van. Try to remain positive. Share information with each other. We're all gonna make it, bros. We're gonna make it out of here. Everything's gonna be fine. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.